One of the things that I'm deeply involved in is artificial intelligence and the sort of governance and control over the types of, let's call them bias, that we put into those technologies. Ethical AI is a big thing in terms of technology for good. AI is a great thing, right? There is opportunity for it to be really good. There's also opportunity to be really bad. The thing to remember is that AI is still made by humans, right? And we all have some kind of bias. And even though we're not intending to put it into these technologies, it's automatically going to flow into the AI, and we have to figure out an appropriate way to manage that. The success that I've had in this area is actually being part of a council, the CIO Strategy Council in Canada, that focuses exactly on this and putting together, policy to make sure that we're governing what's actually coming through the gates, but not stifling it. Companies like IBM have done wonderful things, with the cancer AI, get it down to a point where it's consumable. There's an argument that people will lose their jobs, and it's a flawed argument. The argument should be, how do we educate people to elevate themselves to the next level, to do other jobs that are in control of those technologies? AI is not putting people out of jobs, it's enhancing their ability to do better jobs. So what really needs to be talked about, again, it goes back to me thinking about, where does this lead? What is the impact to my children? What is the impact to society? What's the overall impact from a long-term perspective? So if we're going to be building technologies and software and capability and AI and all of these things, the reality is exactly the purpose, of this conversation is what happens 2,000 days from now? What happens in 2030? Right? Is the technology going to be viable? And I think those things are really important. I am Warren Perlman, Global CIO of Ceridian.